Alright, we're back. And we were talking about Aereo and the battle with CBS. And that definitely is a battle going on because if this thing is not resolved, according to CBS, they're just going to pull their content off the airways. That's their solution to the whole problem. CBS is not losing money, and that's my problem with this story. CBS is not losing money with Aereo's service, because all Aereo is doing is providing its customers. What Aereo does is give you a small antenna that you have to buy, and then they allow you to, or you rent the antenna for so much a month, and they allow you to be able to watch your local programming wherever you are in the world via the internet. So it's not that they're taking CBS's paid services or cable services, stuff like that. The stuff you would get over the air anyways. The stuff you would get over the air free anyhow with an antenna. The only thing that Aereo is doing is allowing you to be able to watch that content wherever you are. That's it. CBS isn't losing money by doing this. You might say, well, they're losing money, this, that. If anything, CBS would be able to gain money more from advertisers, because they would be able to show that their mobile programming, that customers can see their programming now wherever they are, so they have more, advertisers have more access to customers wherever they're going to be. So if anything, CBS should be able to find a way to make money with Aereo's system, but instead, because CBS cannot control it, that's where the problem comes in. And so they're willing to take their programming totally off the air, citing that, well, if Aereo does that, then that we're forced to just take our programming off the air. And it's like, no, you're not forced to take your programming off the air. You want to do it because you want to control what people watch and how they watch it. And that old business model is changing. People are not watching TV the same way they used to. Companies like Fox, like CBS, like NBC have to realize, ABC, they have to realize that the way the culture is right now, the way people consume content and consume their digital content is much different than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, because of mobile devices. Because mobile devices have gotten so powerful. Samsung Galaxy S4 is such a powerful device. Tablets are such powerful devices now. We are talking quad-core. The NVIDIA Shield that's coming out has a quad-core Tegra 4 processor as well as a 72-core GPU. WikiPad 7 has a quad-core processor and a 12-core GPU. Tablets are getting much more powerful. Computers and laptops are getting much more powerful. And so as people are continually mobile, the way we consume media now is going to be much different. And cable companies and companies like CBS, Fox, NBC have to get on board with those things, because that's where TV is going. And they can't stop it, because that is the way the culture is going. CBS trying to hold on to this older model of stuff is not going to work. And Aereo is just providing a way for customers like you and I to be able to watch our local over-the-air programming wherever we are. CBS doesn't like it. So this could be big for Aereo. This could be big for Aereo. We just have to wait and see how this thing plays out, because if Aereo, if Time Warner does lose CBS's programming, then they're going to back Aereo. And the courts have upheld Aereo's right to do business the way they're doing it, and so they're going to back Aereo, which can only mean good things for Aereo, and maybe even Time Warner would seek a partnership with Aereo, thus definitely bolstering Aereo, because now you would be able to get all of Time Warner's, so those who have Aereo service, you'll be able to get all of Time Warner's channels and so forth over Aereo's network, over their service. So by paying one monthly fee, you know, a small monthly fee right now, I think it's $1.99 to the antennas and stuff like that. By paying a small fee, and maybe with Time Warner, they might do something like $10 a month. So for $10 a month, you get access to over 300 channels that Time Warner has just for $10 a month. I mean, that would just destroy cable and their prices. People would flock to Time Warner like there's no tomorrow, because $10 a month you get over 300 channels and no extra fees. It's just like Netflix So you have $10, so for $26 a month, no extra fees. You get tons of content from Netflix, tons of content from Hulu Plus, who spends, both of those, they spend over $1 billion a year on programming. So you're going to get Netflix, Hulu, and then get Time Warner Cable. So you're going to be able to choose cable channels just like you would now, just over the internet. They come up with an interface like that, definitely cable companies would fall. And if I was Time Warner, I would look to seek a partnership with Areo to bring a cheaper cable package to the masses. Not a cable package of $39.99 a month, and then after fees, this, that, and the next thing, by the time you finish, you're paying $60, $70, and fees keep going up. No. But to get something that's reasonably priced, that's priced like a Netflix or Hulu Plus, I'm telling you, this thing could go big. We just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see how this thing, how it works. You know, we have to wait and see how it works and how people respond to it. So, so we're going to, we're just going to have to watch and wait and see. And this is definitely exciting times. If you're a cord cutter, if you're someone that's thinking about cord cutting, this is definitely a good time to be a cord cutter. Now, according to a report by Geeky Gadgets, the Melafine is in the development stages. Now, melanoma, for those who may not know, is a form of skin cancer that is often often discovered via cancer moles or skin lesions that look like nothing out of the ordinary to the untrained eye. And more than 9,000 Americans die each year due to skin cancer, many because they didn't know they had skin cancer until it was too late. Now, Melafine is a device created by Mela Sciences to help dermatologists decide whether a mole is cancerous or not. Cancerous moles, if caught in time, can be biopsied before the patient ever actually develops skin cancer. So it sounds like a life-saving device, right? Well, there's a bit more to it than that. Right now, Melafine is technically still in development stages. Many doctors are arguing that the device is simply set to call almost all moles cancerous, which leaves doctors biopsying perfectly fine tissue. They also argue that the machine makes doctors lazy. Instead of taking their time, they simply look at the mole through the machine and then let it decide whether the mole should be treated or not. While the program's algorithms is set to more than 10,000 images of lesions from which it can use to determine whether it's cancerous or not, never going to be 100% accurate. That being said, machines missed 2 out of 127 moles that they scanned, that they were put to test. So those are pretty good odds, but even though it's still in the development stages, I think anything that can help doctors catch cancer early, especially something like skin cancer that can be very easy to miss, or when I say miss, not by the doctors, but by humans. We might look at a mole on our hands and say, that's nothing. Everyone has moles here or there. But, something that can help people really help doctors find quicker cancer spots and so forth and things like that, I think is big. Anything that can help that is big. Now, the fact that doctors may get lazy, maybe so. But that doesn't mean the technology shouldn't exist. And this is a picture of the unit right here. It doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist. So in my estimation, I think that this technology should move from beta stages, because missing only 2 out of 127, those are pretty good odds. And it doesn't take away the human aspect. It doesn't take away the doctor's aspect to really look at it and check it out and stuff like that. It doesn't take that away, but it just adds another dimension to detecting this thing. So definitely, I hope that this technology, the Melafine is what it's called, hope that they can, that most of the doctors who are opposed to it will realize that yes, anything can make doctors more lazy because they don't want to actually do the work. Anything can do that. But at the same time, if the doctor is a good doctor, then this is just going to be another tool that they're using to help the battle against cancer. So definitely, this to me, this is something that's going to be good. Now, in our last story, Google Maps finally lands on iPad. So if you're an iPad user and you were looking for Google Maps, you wanted this thing because the iMaps or Apple's version of the Maps, let's face it, is not terribly accurate. Everyone will tell you that. Everyone who has used the Apple's mapping technology knows that Apple's mapping technology is just not accurate. And according to a report by Wired magazine, Google Maps is finally landed on the iPad, and all of this finally works natively on the iPad. No more upscaling the iPhone app and dealing with blurry text and maps. Like the Android tablet version, the app expands the Maps app experience, adding UI elements that make sense on a larger screen. For example, info sheets are displayed over the top instead of covering the entire UI. It's taken far too long, but it's nice to have a real Google Map experience on iPad. Now, Google's desire is to create true parity across its mobile maps platform, and the iOS version of the app contains almost all the same features in the Android version. The one exception is the dynamic map rerouting isn't available yet on the iOS. It's available on Android, but it's not available yet on iOS. But Google UX lead of mobile maps, Darren DeLay, said the rerouting will be coming to iOS, and according to him, it's soon. No actual time has been set, but he says it's soon. The only bad news, that's the only bad news, but cyclists should be happy that iOS is finally getting biking directions. Now you can figure out the best route to the bicycle shop to get lights on your bike for night riding. You can figure out best restaurants. All of this type of thing is now available on iOS. And at the Google I/O back in May, the company announced that an opt-in invitation to the beta of Google Maps for the desktop browser. The new Maps browser app displayed results directly on the map itself, and clicking on the result brings up an info sheet similar to what's available in mobile apps. So if you're an iOS fan and you like using Google Maps because you realize that the iOS Maps is just doesn't cut it, then you will be happy to know that Google has brought their maps to iOS devices. So you're not going to be left behind anymore. No more left behind. Now you too are going to have the leisure of using Google Maps on iOS devices, which to me is a good thing, because the Apple's offering definitely is not worth it. Apple's offering in the map category, definitely not worth it. I mean, it's not even accurate. So if those of you that wanted to use Google Maps, now you can, and the rerouting is the only feature that's not there yet, but according to the head lead designer, he says it's going to be soon. Well, that's it. We've reached the end of another Tech Pulse. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And, tomorrow we're going to be back with another Tech Pulse. We're going to be back with all of the stories, all of the reviews of all the products you like in the tech world, keeping you one step ahead of everybody else. My name is Hartley Reginald Smith II. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Oh!